Now I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP.
150 acres divided into 12 3-acre islands. A new life for chimps. Save the Chimps is an organization that focuses on rehabilitating chimpanzees that have been used in biomedical labs, the pet trade, or have been kept as domestic pets. Founded by Dr. Carol Noon, the sanctuary aims to provide chimpanzees with an environment that is comfortable and natural to their species. Our class had the opportunity to volunteer with this organization throughout the semester.
Hi, my name is Stacy, and for our honors psychology class, we had the chance to volunteer at Save the Chimps, which is a really huge chimpanzee sanctuary here in Fort Pierce. Well, at first, I was both terrified and thrilled. Terrified because I didn't really know what to expect, and thrilled because, well, we're gonna have the chance to have such a type of hands-on approach to science that you don't often get in classrooms. So we're gonna be learning, but with real life chimps. So that was exciting. And the first time we went, we made these enrichment boxes, which are like boxes that they make to keep chimpanzees stimulated, and we put toys in them, and it was really exciting. And then we went and did our observations, which was also really great because we were doing science, but like real scientists, and not only sitting in a classroom and learning. We're really observing chimpanzees and their reaction with enrichment. That was really nice because I learned so much, and it's always so easy to say we share 98% of DNA with chimpanzees, but having to see them in real life and realize how important we were observing evolution, how important that was really such a good experience. And well, the staff there was also so great, and they're so nice with all the chimpanzees, and definitely something to do again. I went back and completed all my hours, and I'll still be volunteering even after that because it was such an incredible experience, and the staff there was also so great and so motivated. And well, I think it's a really important thing to observe chimpanzees' behavior, especially with psychology, because they share so much of our DNA, and but also because we're learning so much about ourselves. And the main reason why they are there in the first place, at the sanctuary in the first place, is because of human actions. So if we can do anything to help, it's worth it.
Going into this class was service learning, I didn't know what to expect, and I was really curious basically as to how observing chimpanzees and volunteering at the chimp sanctuary related to our psychology class in general. After volunteering at Save the Chimps, I realized that not only were we giving back to the community, but to the chimps. And that was really nice. And getting to learn about chimps was awesome. And getting to see all these amazing things that these volunteers and employees do to help the chimps live out the rest of their lives more peacefully than the laboratories, pet trade, or entertainment industries that they came from. So observing the termite mounds beforehand, I was just really curious as to how chimpanzees relate to humans and their psychological behaviors. And after the fact, I found out that chimpanzees have 98.8% of the same DNA as us. And, the termite mounds are actually enrichment for them and stimulating for their behaviors.
I'm very excited about Save the Chimps. I've never seen a chimp before, so that's kind of what I'm most excited about. As far as the expectations, I don't really have any. I never really heard about a sanctuary prior to doing this project. I kind of have this weird expectation that it's kind of like a zoo, even though I know it's not. Every time I think about a sanctuary, zoos just come to my mind, even though I know that's not accurate, but it's just what I think. I'm also very interested to see how the chimps will interact with the termite mounds. Will they be more social? Will be engaged, or will they just be resting, just chilling? Um, I want to see how the experiment turns out, and I'm very excited and really looking forward to it. After volunteering at Save the Chimps and after the experiment, my thoughts on sanctuaries have definitely changed. At first, I kind of expected them to be like zoos, which is totally wrong. You can definitely see how the staff at Save the Chimps really cares and loves the chimps and really has their best interest in mind. I really enjoyed volunteering and making enrichment items, um, and helping out at the kitchen, helping out prepare all the foods for the chimps. I got to meet a couple of the chimps as well. In regards to the experiment, um, I was really surprised at how engaged the chimps were and really didn't interact with any other chimps. Whenever they were at the termite mound, they were all their attention was focused on the termite mound and picking at the jello. They really didn't do anything else. A few, as time went by, started to lose interest, but overall they were very interested in the termite mound and were very engaged.
Soon going to have the opportunity to work with Save the Chimps as volunteers, and we're also going to be observing termite mounds as part of our final project. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm also quite excited. Over the summer I worked with the rehabilitation of horses, and I know that horses and chimpanzees are probably very different, but I want to see what similarities they have and see if caring for them is similar. I'm again kind of nervous because I don't really know what to expect. I don't know what we're going to be asked to do, but whatever it is, I'm ready to take charge and just go for it. Regarding the termite mounds, again, I also don't really know what to expect. All that I can say is I'm thinking that maybe a termite mound that is closer to the building or one that has more chimps to interact with, maybe that would be more attractive, but I'm not sure, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So after getting to volunteer at Save the Chimps and getting to observe the chimpanzees, I can say that this experience was like no other. It was one that I didn't expect and was completely different than what I had anticipated. Just stepping onto the property and seeing the environment was amazing. I have so much admiration for the organization to be able to provide such an open and natural environment for these chimpanzees, and I think that's really awesome. At first I was a little bit disappointed because we weren't going to have this face-to-face interaction with the chimpanzees, but after learning more about their species, learning about their strength and what they're capable of, I have to admit that I was pretty happy about that protective layer in between us. Working on the enrichment devices, I think, proved to be even more interesting than working face-to-face with the chimps, because you got to learn about their thinking and how it relates very much to human thinking. As we were producing these devices, we had to think in an abstract way. We had to think, okay, how clever is this chimp going to be? Are they going to be able to rip this apart? Is it going to be too easy for them to get to this? And it almost felt as though we were creating toys or enrichment devices for human children. Observing the termite mounds, to me, probably was my favorite part about this entire project, because it was beautiful getting to see these chimpanzees that have been locked up for so long have this kind of wild experience. Of course, you know, it's mimicking what's really in the wild, but it's still something for them, and I think that's really, really a beautiful thing. What was interesting was the fact that our results were nothing like what we had anticipated, nothing what we had expected. And we had to sort of think about the why, and again, this goes back to logical thinking, and that chimps are capable of higher thinking, and that to me was very eye-opening. I think what I gained most out of this experience was actually the understanding and the need for animal conservation, and the fact that if we see how much work it takes to just take care of 250 endangered chimpanzees, not even thinking about the entire species, what does it take to be able to protect all threatened and endangered species? Enrichment devices are created on-site and used to promote species-specific behaviors. These tools include rotating pipes covered in plastic grass to appeal to the chimp's sense of touch, and bottles filled with various items to mimic wild foraging.
I guess I can relate because chimps and humans share so much of DNA that it's relatable, so that's how that relates. I think that volunteers have contributed a lot towards research. It's something that's pretty new at Save the Chimps. The behavior department in general is only 2 years old, so we don't have a lot of data collected yet. So having you guys out here kind of watching and helping, we're learning a lot from it. Well, the benefits go both ways. We learn from you guys, what the chimps are interacting with, what they prefer. It's important, conservation, it's great to get the information out to the public. It helps the public learn more about, chimps and their welfare and what's good for them, so I think it benefits.
A couple of ways to differentiate aggressive interactions between peaceful interactions or affiliative interactions would be through the vocalizations given. So the vocalizations given during an aggressive interaction, if you're one person screaming in fear or another giving an aggressive, hooting at them or barking at them. But with an affiliative interaction, you might hear something like a lip smack or a pant grunt. And then two, just their gestures, right? So if someone's running after you with a stick, like we observed during part of our interaction, aggressive. If someone's touching you or just sitting near you peacefully, affiliative. So they're not at all. So what we found in a termite mound in the wild is termites or termite larvae, and what's put here is always prepared food. So we need something that's really sticky and something that's going to stick to the tools when they're put in, or stick to someone's fingers. We use Jell-O, we use oatmeal, things like that. So instead of having individual bugs who grab onto the tool and come out with the tool, we have to have something thick and viscous that will stick to the tool when it's retracted. So there's nothing very PC about what's in the mounds here versus individual insects in the termite mounds.
Tastes like chicken. Slimy yet satisfying. These are rare delicacies. Pecans with a very pleasant crunch. You're learning to love them. I'm telling you, kid, this is the great life. No rules, no responsibilities. Ooh, the little cream-filled kind. And best of all, no worries. Well, kid?
Oh well, Hakuna Matata.